The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Have the Jets dramatically raised their floor? We'll talk about that and go over some film of some new free agent acquisitions by the New York Jets. Joe Blewett is my guest. A lot to cover with him. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish you could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel. We are presented by FanDuel. Speaking of channels, tonight, 7 Eastern, right when I get off the air with our guy, Joe Blewett, I'll be hopping on the brand new Jets Collective YouTube channel to host a roundtable with myself, Brandon Tierney, and ESPN's Rich Cimini. So make sure you guys check that out later tonight. We'll have a podcast for it on Spotify and Apple in the coming days. But the only place to watch it tonight is on YouTube. So make sure you guys subscribe to the Jets Collective that's live at 7 p.m. Eastern time. With that, we say hello to our guy, Joe Blewett, in his weekly spot. Joe, how we feeling? The draft a month away, and I know you're still just grinding through tape on all these prospects. And we will break down Makai Lemon on this very show after we get through some film on Minkah and some film on Demario Davis. But Joe, what's going on?
Yeah, we're talking a little bit pre-show. Gassed, just a tough week, trying to get some stuff done, kids, work, all that stuff. But interesting. I just woke up, not too long ago because I work at midnights, and my Twitter feed was blowing up with some Orlovsky stuff. So I got to go back and watch the Sabo show because I know you guys broke some of that down. So I'm excited to get to Twitter after this, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we did break down his comments from yesterday, but then today, Dan Orlovsky doubled down and said he spoke with 12 to 13 GMs or decision makers that said they think Ty is better than Fernando Mendoza, and people are going nuts because it just doesn't really add up that this is just happening now. But anyway, we could talk about Ty and the whole quarterback conversation in just a bit, but I want to get right to the film because we have some, I think, exciting film to break down. I think there's some optimism if you're a Jet fan about the free agent moves they made. Now, Minkah Fitzpatrick, who we're going to do first, he was someone they acquired in a trade to be one of their new starting safeties. But the Jets, I think, with a lot of their moves, have added some professionals and have raised the floor of their team, providing stability. So we'll get to some film on these guys that you already broke down. But what kind of stood out as you're watching, professionals, if you will, on tape for the first time in a while?
Yeah, I think even like past the stat stuff, like just what he offers to the locker room, to the meeting rooms, getting guys lined up in the right spot. Like you see him pre-snap communicate so much, post-snap communicate so much. So he's going to get guys aligned right. And you can see like he hates to lose or give up big plays. Like he legitimately gets very pissed off. So it's fun to see the competitive nature of him. And on top of that, like I get he's 29 years old and people were freaking out about the 3-year deal. Like, oh, it kicks in after this year, but it's actually a glorified 2-year deal that starts this year. So, you can get rid of him by 31. So they did a good job with the contract, 7th round pick for what I think is the top 10 safety in the league right now. And obviously I don't watch every single safety, so I can't necessarily quantify that, but he's still very, very good. Whether he's in the box, whether he's high, he's super versatile. Really good player, super smart, the type of dude you want in the locker room. And we saw so many problems with the safeties last year with just passing stuff off and rub routes and all that stuff and play action. And he will undoubtedly, hopefully fix that, but if not, drastically help in that area.
All right, so let's get right to it. We got some film to break down. And while we're breaking down the film, let me share with people who are tuned in late on our first show, we got a big time giveaway today. End of the stream, we're raffling away a Wayne Corbett Green Lantern signature rookie year Jets helmet. So very specific giveaway today. It's an awesome one. Big shout out to everyone who supports the show. Wayne Corbett, sign helmet, up for grabs at the end of today's show. We're going to get to some film right now, though. Let's get into it. Minkah Fitzpatrick, the all-22. And Joe Blewett, whenever you're ready, we could see your screen, and we'll break down our first play.
Okay. Yeah, it usually takes a second to load the first play, but yeah, no, I was super impressed with Minkah. The thing you hear about him too a little bit is that he's not a guy who can play high anymore, and I heard that from Dolphins people, but I don't really agree with that. From what I watched of him, he's still very good when he's playing, in high coverage, and he's not a guy who really ever necessarily won because of his athleticism. Like, he's a good athlete, but he's not like an elite athlete where that's how he won. It was really more his mental and knowing how to like leverage himself over route concepts and just being in the right place at the right time. So I don't see him not working out in the deep part of the field either. So he's very versatile. I would rather him play deep than underneath, because underneath you have guys like Belton, you have guys like even Malachi Moore, who I think is more of a box safety. So with all that being said, the versatility, and I don't know why I'm trying to stall, just trying to load this up, and it's not loading up for me. So just give me okay, here we go. Okay. Yeah, something's a little bit funky right now.
You're good.
Whenever you're ready overall. Here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. Sketchy. You can see it now?
Yep, I just put it up. Go ahead.
Okay, sweet. So I'm going to show you a good mix of plays. I got like 6 or 7 from each of these guys. I'll play it first, and we'll talk about it just a little bit. We'll fire through some of the NFL stuff because I know they can be a little bit sketchy, especially with your stream. So right side of the screen right here, right over number 10, and he does a good job in the run game. I would say I like his intangibles more in deep coverage than in the run game. He's still really good at like processing the run game and making plays. On this play, he shoots his shot in terms of, he obviously want him to set the edge, but if he could discard this block quick enough, especially when it's a pitch, he could free himself up, obviously, to make a play on the ball. You have 85 85 is, I don't know who 85 is on our team, right? Because Kincaid is 86, Knox is 88, 85, I guess, is their third string.
Is that the guy that Will Parkinson was obsessed with, the tight end?
The blocker? I don't know if he's 85, to be transparent. I don't know. But with that being said, 85 leaning a little bit into the block, throwing the arms out there. Minkah does a really good job of just staying square, reading the backfield, maintaining that outside in leverage, chops the hands away, swipes the hands away. And then you see some of the flexibility. He's just gearing down, trying to hold his ground a little bit after kind of pushing vertical to just, expose himself to the running back. And then you see the flexibility, takes out the leg for the tackle versus Cook. And if he didn't make that tackle, you're talking about potentially a house call right there. So good job setting the edge. A little bit risky in terms of like not holding up the block and kind of playing a little more like Bailey would, but he's, we're talking about a safety here. We're not talking about a defensive end or an outside linebacker in this system. So you have to kind of evaluate a little bit differently. So this one, so it hopefully offers us some of this to the Jets with intercepting the ball. So he's deep right here. Play it through first, and we'll talk about it. They're in 12 personnel, single back, play action, and does a good job picking the ball off. So what happens here is he's really just dropping back. It looks like they're going to cover 3, like a fire zone 3 under, 3 up top, and he's just reading the quarterback's drop. You can see his eyes on the quarterback. Quarterback is looking to the left right here to the dig, follows the eyes, checks Minkah. Minkah still looking at Bryce Young, sees that he's stepping up in the pocket like crow hopping to get rid of this ball to 17. Drives down the route well. But what I like here is the ball tracking, because a lot of guys at this point are like going to be super focused on 17 and try to just blow him up or contest the catch there. But Minkah does a good job of, okay, I know where 17 is. I see the quarterback throwing the ball. I'm going to be the receiver, and adjusted the ball well, tracks it, intercepts it. Good job there, obviously, in deep coverage, and not the best throw or decision by Bryce Young, but it's a good job of him, again, just reading it, opening up to the side that the quarterback is looking to, keep him in his peripheral vision, breaking down, and good tracking of the ball. Again, something the Jets desperately need is some guys who can track the ball in deep coverage. So Fitzpatrick, this is him in man coverage on is it McConkey? Is that his name? He is right here. So Minkah is to the top, man on the number 2. We'll watch it. He actually gets a pass deflection here as well, but this is a smart man coverage play in terms of just using leverage against McAfee and maintaining outside leverage. And the reason he does that and he's staying so hard outside on this route is because he has, it looks like 44 here. I believe he's just like on a wall technique where basically anything from the passing strength 5 yards under, he's basically going to check like hip check them like he's Scott Stevens. So he's going to use that to his advantage where if he breaks in quick, 44 is going to match him. And he also has the deep safety here as they're in like the cover one hole, it looks like. So he has two guys inside leverage. So, hey, he breaks inside, fine. They'll assist me, whether it be short, 44, deep. I got my deep safety, so I'm going to take a little bit of advantage of that. I'm going to play more outside leverage on McAfee. Gets a shuffle in, stays square, hands on to match the break. Eyes back to the quarterback, see if the ball is coming out. Can I make a play on it? I got hands on. I could look back. Great. Matches the route, and then does a good job of and it's you can't see it from the other angle. They didn't like the film wasn't great on it, but it does a good job of punching through with that. You could barely see his glove punch through the arms right there, and he actually gets the pass deflection. So man coverage on McAfee, like it's not something I necessarily want him doing all the time, but he offers you so much versatility, locking down tight ends, some man on receivers, obviously deep coverage, good plays in the box. This is another play versus McAfee where just a smart play by him. In terms of, changing it up a little bit. So he's in man coverage on McAfee right here as they reduce the splits of the receivers, and the receiver right here, the Z the outside receiver goes into motion. So then he changes his setup a little bit. You want to play at a different level than this corner because, a lot of rub routes, things like that. So you don't want to play at similar levels. You want to play at different levels. So you're not running into each other laterally. So you're going to see him go in motion. And then Fitzpatrick quickly changes his technique from playing like off or catch to getting aggressively and pressing McAfee. And again, really good job. Like McAfee is a good receiver. I like the quick change up there from Minkah. Again, closes ground quickly, but comes to balance, isn't overzealous, gets both hands on McAfee before he could wipe the hands away, whatever he's going to try to do. Gets a ridiculous jam on him. Like, look how much he bubbles the route out because of that, and then matches him. So two really, really good reps of him in man coverage on a relatively solid receiver at the NFL level. Let's go 3 plays left. This is man coverage on 4th down versus, and this is a play where the Jets get roasted like consistently. Actually, is 85's not, is it Kincaid? You might need to look that up for me, Jake, because now it's bothering me that he's getting targeted on. No, it's not. I don't know who the hell I don't know who he is. But this is a play where the Jets get roasted last year. Like play action, really heavy personnel. Josh Allen under center, like no doubt about it. This is a blown coverage for a touchdown versus the Jets last year.
Jackson Hawes is who it is, Joe.
Jackson Hawes. Okay, thank you. Because I thought Kincaid is 86. But does a good job of, hey, I'm in man coverage first here. Like, yeah, if I could fit the run, great. But I'm in man coverage first. So he does a really good job of just staying super patient. Again, he's right here on man coverage on that tight end to the top. And again, gets a shuffle in, right? Stays square. You don't want to open up too early because if you're to open your hips up too early, you get undercut to the outside, whatever it may be, you're screwed. So you want to stay as square as long as you can. Obviously, versus speed, you have to open up sooner and things like that. But both hands on. Right hand into the chest, obviously really disrupts the route right there. He's trying to run through contact. But Minkah, again, has good hand placement, really attaches to the route, keeps his eyes on him, isn't looking back for the ball, and does a good job of like what we call like arm barring, which is basically he's just going to get the left arm over top of his right arm, because if his right arm is pinned underneath the left arm of Minkah, he can't go up for the ball, and it also allows him to just feel him out. So now he has really good positioning on him. Now he's looking back to the ball, and now it becomes a thing where, hey, we're both competing for this ball. I'm the receiver here as well. So really good job, man coverage, 4th down, getting that arm bar in, tracking the ball, getting the pass deflection. Awesome. You can see him right here. Doing an excellent job. Again, this is a play that the Jets undoubtedly get roasted. Almost gets the picks. Almost gets the pick. He get 85, breaks up, and it's 4th down anyway, so it's like an arm punt. That's why Josh Allen just throws it up. But hell of a job by Minkah on that play. Let's see. This is one where you see some of the communication, and it's another good man rep, or it's a good it looks like man. another good man rep for him. But what you see pre-snap is he's communicating with this DB. I think what he's probably calling for is a banjo here, because right now you don't have to call for a banjo, because which is going to be basically Minkah takes the first guy going in, he takes the first guy going out. So it impedes offenses who are trying to run like rub routes and switch concepts and switch releases and things like that. So as soon as he sees that but at this point doesn't have to worry about it, because you're not going to run rub concepts this wide out from each other. So as soon as he motions in, you can see the communication with this DB, and he's probably calling for a banjo where, hey, if he, if you have the number 2 here pushes vertical and he breaks underneath, Minkah's going to take that, because he's going to be out. This DB is going to be out leveraged. So good communication pre-snap. Doesn't end up working out where it's a banjo anyway. Matches 86 with diving inside, gets hands on him. Good job with that arm bar, keeping the arm over top, allowing himself to feel that route. Looking back for the ball, knows he has the deep safety there as well. If the ball is there, it's probably a pick. So some of the pre-snap stuff you see with them, it's just a little thing, but it's something that's really important for the Jets team, is guys who know how to communicate post, pre-snap, all those things. And one of the things I love about Minkah too is you can see him get excited about guys who do their assignment well. Like there's one play where he shuts down a jet sweep, but he dabs up his corner, because the corner is like the force player to the outside, and he takes on the block with like proper leverage and stuff. And Minkah's like super pumped, like, hey, thank you for making him cut back inside. So love it from him.
That's what they've been missing so badly, man. Just a veteran who can get guys in the right spot.
Yeah,
like a leader. They got a leader in Minkah in their secondary. We'll get to Davis next. He's obviously the quintessential green dot captain of your defense, middle linebacker. And a guy like Harrison Phillips is that experienced veteran for the D-line room. Like you got professionals at all 3 levels.
And you have Anyamata, who's like a Glenn type of dude. And I know Minkah was a green dot player. I believe he's a green dot player with the Steelers. But we moved to the box with the Dolphins. I don't think he was. But I think Demario Davis would probably be green dot. But Minkah is just as good with that type of stuff. So yeah, man, like he gets even if they don't make a play, he gets excited for guys who are just doing a good job of, again, doing their job, like doing their 111th as coaches and stuff say, which sometimes can be overrated. But nonetheless, this is the last one from him. So we're seeing some run reps, a lot of man reps. This is a zone rep from him right here. In the slot to the bottom. And it's just like how active he is in zone, and not just covering grass like many guys do. And it looks like they're just running like a cover 3 or a variation of it. So he's in the hook to curl in the bottom slot right there, and he wants to obviously carry the number 2 right here vertically. So he does a good job of obviously carrying him vertically, right, passing him off to the deep outside safety, who's probably like a deep third, and just a little bit of like a rotation. So he rotates into the middle. So he's passing him off to the deep safety. But a lot of times, like Jets guys in the of last year, they don't even get hands on here. They're not rerouting. They're not like impeding progress at all. They're kind of just spot dropping and not getting hands on. So getting hands on, we like that. And then active eyes, right? Passes them off, sees the dig route coming, or a post, whatever it is, from Olave. And you can see like he's looking for work here. He's not just back to the receivers behind him and just looking at the quarterback, and the quarterback manipulates him with his eyes, and then the ball is completed behind him. Like he's finding routes, pass off the slot, pick up the number 2, quick flip of the hips, looking back for the ball, matching him inside. He slips a little bit here, but it's okay, because if the ball was there, it's probably going to be a pick or a PD. It looks so small, but like just little things, rerouting guys, carrying guys up the seam, active eyes, like just. He's a very good player. And we're going to be positive today. I'm not even going to show the negatives. Really, the only negatives I could say, like sometimes his tackle technique is not ideal. And I think it's more so like him being an ankle biter. It's not like lack of physicality or anything like that. He ankle bites, and sometimes he can take angles that are a little bit too high. Not an excellent tackler, but just an okay tackler. And then sometimes in the run game, he could be a little bit over aggressive with trying to shoot his shot. But overall, as I showed, a pretty elite player with Fitzpatrick. So there are your 7 Fitzpatrick plays.
Love it. Hit the like button. Joe Blewett's with us. We're going to do Makai Lemon's film breakdown coming up, Jet fans. But as promised, we wanted to show you film on Minkah and Demario Davis, 2 pros that should easily inject some life and some professionalism into the Jet defense. For those tuning in late, Wayne Krabet sign helmet is the giveaway at the end of the show. And our weekly raffle prizes, for those of you tuning in for the first time this week, we have 3 on Saturday that we will raffle away. Saturday morning during my weekly Saturday show. Name it sign helmet, Revis sign helmet, Maurice Hall sign helmet. Big thank you and a shout out to Patrick, who became a channel member. He's the first to enter the raffle during today's show.
Hey, ETS, Jets.
Patrick, I appreciate you. All right, let's get to Demario Davis now, Mr. Blewett, a guy that we know very well in this fan base, a third tour of duty with the New York Jets. Here we go.
Yeah. I love Demario Davis. Like he hits like a refrigerator. Like it is ridiculous. This play is more about like smarts than some of the chase down speed for Demario Davis. So he's right here as the Mike backer, and we'll play it and we'll talk about it a little bit. And you can see some of the chase down speed here. Now he doesn't have like elite speed. Like he's not Quincy Williams or anything like that, who has really, really good speed, but he still has like the necessary level of speed. I didn't see like a huge drop off. And especially when you're 248 pounds, like he's an absolute, again, tank. So, he does a good job here. Like initially he sees it's like a zone lead or whatever exactly it is to the outside. I don't really care about that. He strings out the run a little bit here. So he starts to work a little bit laterally, but sees the bubble here. Between not the bubble, just the empty space between the center and the guard, knows it's an outside run. So he shoots his gap, like effectively spilling it, because you have a force player to the outside, you have the safety to the outside. So he knows that if he shoots this gap, he can either chase him down, kind of effectively spill the run, or if he cuts back, he's there. So initially strings it out, again, sees the opportunity to shoot his shot, does. I don't think it's by design that he's like plugging in that gap or anything like that because of the lateral steps right off the jump, but works laterally. Again, knows that if he shoots his shot, fine. Cut back, I'm there. Spill it, guys outside. So a smart player, again, just recognizing the situation and immediately flattens too, right? Like defeats the inside arm, like that catch arm of 75. Immediately flattens. He doesn't push too far vertical and then try to flatten. So good job staying as tight as he can to the line of scrimmage, scraping down it. Chasing down the running back for the I don't know if it's a tackle for a loss here. I'm not counting the yards. Actually, it seems like it might be, right? They start at like probably like the 39. Yeah, so it's actually a tackle for a loss here from the backside for Demario Davis. So an excellent play, just shooting a shot and kind of knowing where his guys are supposed to be. And you're also seeing some of the ability with just the speed, which again is not top tier or anything like that. I think it's more average, but
just smart. He just knows how to tape study. He knows where to be. He's seen everything.
So smart. Yeah, him and Minkah, man, are really, really going to help. Now, obviously, if the guys don't take to what they're telling them and the communication in the field, that's their fault. But going from Andre Sisco and Malachi Moore directing the back end to Minkah, and then Sherwood to Davis, like it is so huge. So they're the two biggest moves of the offseason for the Jets right now, just because of what they bring to these rooms. So he's right here. And this is one where you just see how hard he hits. Like I think it's the left guard here, Jake. He demolishes this left guard. So we'll watch it, talk about it a little bit. It's ridiculous how hard he hits guys sometimes. And it looks like he may be responsible for the what is it, the B gap? The B gap, and because it's closing down a little bit, and this is what I think at least, and it could be a little bit different if he has a run fit. I'm not sure, but based on hit, I don't think he does. So I'm going to say he has the B gap right here. This guy dives into the A and falls down. So I think he's just filling this gap. But what happens is as he strings it out a little bit, he can't really fill this gap because there's no room here. So instead of doing that, a lot of guys will like throw offensive linemen or receivers into the gap that they're responsible, because then they're effectively shutting that gap down, right? And you saw JJ argue that, I believe it was against the Ravens game, where he got like pancaked versus Ricard, right? And he came out onto Twitter and was like, I was throwing the dude in the gap, like not a great play, but I kind of did my job. So here, instead of pushing through this gap, I'm gonna shoot the backside here. He pops that shoulder, the backside shoulder. He's working against his momentum, right? Like momentum's carrying himself to the outside. So pop the inside. He's weaker to the right shoulder than to the left shoulder. So lowers the shoulder. Good leverage, shoulder versus shoulder, launches him. Now he's lucky that he falls into other guys, because he probably just straight up on his ass right there, if not. And then he obviously squares up the running back and makes the tackle. But like, just look how he demolishes that guard. So he is so fun to watch in the run game. And I'm going to show you a play or two in coverage as well. And actually, this next one is a coverage play. So he's also Now in like man coverage versus, like an Evan Ingram or an athletic tight end, yeah, probably not the best way to use Demario Davis. But overall, he's still pretty good in coverage, but I like him specifically in zone drops. So he's right here. I honestly forget the coverage. We'll see in a second. But he's right here. And this is just like, it's not a play. He gets I don't know if he gets a pass deflection or a pick here. I think he actually gets a pass deflection here. So let's watch him. He's right here. Now it looks like they're in a quarters, and we'll look at the eyes in a second, and it almost leads to a pick from him, but just does a really good job of reading the quarterback and the route concept. And too many guys just focus on one or the other, the route concept or the quarterback. But when you can kind of pair those two together, then it's really great. So obviously getting depth, right? Eyes are to the route concept. Okay. Are they going vertical, underneath? Like what's going on here, right? They all push vertical. So he starts to shuffle and get vertical, check the quarterback. Is the quarterback looking away from me? Is the ball out? What is the situation? So check him, keep pushing vertical, right? Eyes back to the concept. They're gaining depth. I'm getting depth. He then sees what? This receiver start to break to the inside, checks the quarterback. Is he still looking here? Gathering information, knows that, okay, this is an inside breaking route. I have to flip my hips and start to get vertical on this throw because the ball is going to go behind me. He's obviously not cutting in front of me. Matches it, gets the pass deflection, almost a pick. But like the eyes there are excellent from Demario Davis. And then the flip of the hips to match the route behind him when he doesn't even necessarily confirm that it's necessary, like breaking behind him just by him initially breaking inside, like just so good from Demario Davis in zone coverage right there. So that's something that the Jets did not do last year, specifically, guys like Sherwood, who was so awful in coverage for a guy who was a safety. It was really baffling. And I've heard some talk, I think I saw on Twitter, like somebody saying move Sherwood back to safety. Please God, no. Let's not do that. And this one, we're gonna watch Demario right here. Can't really see it because of the aesthetics. Does a good job of taking on looks like they're running counter OH right there. So we have counter, and you have the fullback, the H, who's going to be leading, and just a good job of taking on the block, right? Following the pulling guard. You start seeing down blocks, pulling guard, follow the guard. That's usually where the ball is going to be. Not every time, but most times. Follows the guard into the B gap. Cam Jordan squeezes the run, inside shoulder versus outside shoulder. Sees the blocker coming. Squares up, nice and low, drops the inside shoulder, stands him up. You can see that this, the tight end, the fullback, the H-back, whatever you want to call him, is running, obviously forward, and Demario Davis is standing still, but he doesn't get moved back an inch. Like he takes on the contact and literally maybe an inch, but hell of a job right there, just taking on the puller, the lead blocker, and standing him up and then making the tackle on the running back, keeping the eyes up, inside half free, making the tackle.
37 years old, still just attacking in the running game.
Oh yeah. And coverage, man. Like I said, like I expected going into this, like, hey, he's going to suck in coverage. And transparently, like, do I remember what he was doing in 2017? Like, no way. I don't. Like, generally, you can remember a little bit, but like, how is he in zone drops? Like, I forget. It was 10 years ago. But I didn't expect as much from him in coverage. Like, the run stuff I expected. But that paired with the zone coverage stuff, I was very happy with. So I labeled this one patient hands and chase down. Put 2 A's. You can tell I was probably tired while I was doing this. But here we are with Demario again. He's just so good in the run game, right? Sees the track of the running back going wide. Offensive linemen are all going wide as well. Responsible for more of like the interior gaps. Gears it down a little bit. Big bubble right here, right? He doesn't want to over pursue here, get to the outside, and he cuts it back. So he gears it down a little bit. Takes on the block of the offensive lineman, hands inside, stands him up. Eyes back into the backfield, see that the running back is continuing that wide track to the outside. Okay, I could vacate. I don't have to maintain this stack because he's cutting to the outside. There's no point. Disengages with that offensive lineman, and then you have the tight end who's kind of in his way. Gets his left hand into the armpit area, just throws him aside, and then gets involved in the tackle with Bijan Robinson, who. With some breaking news, right? The Falcons just signed Brian Robinson as well. So
the people that are about to draft Brian Robinson, thinking they're taking Bijan in their fantasy drafts this year. Oh, I can't wait for those stories.
Oh, that's a great point. Like it is maybe it's 1 in a million that it happens to, but there's undoubtedly going to be a guy on Yahoo Fantasy who sees Robinson Falcons and then 1,000% right. But hell of a job by Demario on that one. I got 2 left, and let's get into some really fun lemon tape after this. Davis take on block and tackle right here, 56. Let's watch it. It's a similar thing. I think this is another counter OH here too, and just standing up another dude. Actually, not even standing him up, jolting him backwards. This time he's a little bit more of a head of his steam, so that's why he does it instead of just like standing him up. But follow the guard, right? Follows the guard into the design gap, kicks him out. So he's gonna get skinny, or he like kind of shoots it here, so he's gonna get super skinny. Take on the block, outside shoulder versus inside to squeeze the run. If he is to cut it back, fine. Rocks K. Dotton, squares up the running back, makes a tackle. Last play. 4th and 1 stuff. So here's gonna be plugging I forget if it's the A or B gap here. But we got 12. We got 12 personnel, single back, 4th and 1. You're assuming it's going to be a run. They're going to run blitz and plug them through the gap. In this situation, and it's a really good job by Davis with his hand usage here, filling that B gap, right? Strings out a little bit, shoots the gap. 67 is going to try to get that left hand into Demario Davis's chest to just slow him up and hope that the running back can run through contact or completely avoid Davis. But Davis knows that's coming. Left hand comes out, chops down that arm so it can't make contact with him. Look how low he is, tracking the running back, eyes on the running back, gets in front of him, shuts it down, 4th and 1 by himself. Like, just an excellent job from him in the run game, all around zone coverage. Again, man might be his weakness. There's sometimes he could be a little bit over aggressive as well, but I'd rather have a guy who's under or over aggressive than like under aggressive and not sure of their eyes. Like if your eyes take you to the right spot 9 out of 10, and that one time out of 10 you're not in the right spot, I'll live with it rather than a guy who's like hesitant. So there's Demario Davis.
Let's go. DD, welcome back. As you were going through all that, Joe, the Jets, maybe they're watching our show, which wouldn't surprise me. They tweeted this in the middle of that film review. Since entering the league in 2012, Demario Davis is the only player in the NFL with at least 1,500 tackles and 45 sacks.
Would he be in the Hall of Fame conversation, do you think, if he was on on better teams instead of being on the Jets and the Saints, guys like teams who didn't really make it far? Like, his level of consistency the last 10 or so years. Well, he got drafted in, what was it, 2014 or 2012 actually. 2012. Okay, so he's been super consistent for a long time. I know he's never made the Super Bowl, right? He's never really. Maybe he's been in the playoffs, but not much, if he even has been at all. I think if he was on a better team, like if he was Bobby Wagner on the Seahawks, you kind of replace them, and he was playing on the Seahawks and he was playing on the Rams, like, is he considered in a similar light? Because Demario Davis is just so damn consistent. He's been so good for so long, and obviously that stat is ridiculous. 1,500 tackles, 45 sacks, and I'm going to knock on wood here heavily. How many games has he missed? I think 1, and it was just last year. Or I think his first game missed was last year. Maybe it was multiple games.
No, dude, he played 17 games last year. Year before 16. Year before that, 17. This guy has had a remarkable bill of health.
So maybe the stat was the first snap he missed then due to injury. Because like there was a game he maybe came out or something like that. But just like remarkably consistent on the field, off the field, the leader you want, a rah guy. We talked about it last year. I could not handle Jamie and Sherwood's pregame hype up speeches. Like I said, like he couldn't hype up my grandma. Like they were just awful. Demario Davis is like so much better at that stuff too. Just like being a leader, holding guys accountable. Like he's a no bullshit type of dude, and absolutely love him as a player, no doubt. So I'm really happy they brought him in over a guy like Anzalone, who like, he might have been around for longer, but what's to say you can't sign Anzalone, however you pronounce it, in a year or two when he's done with his deal with who did he signed with? Tampa, right?
Tampa Bay, yep.
Tampa. Do you know how long the deal was? A year or two, probably?
I think it's like a 2-year deal as well.
2-year deal. Okay. Yeah. So, no, a super exciting player. I'm just trying to pull up the Makai Lemon plays. I'm going to pull up as well over here.
Take your time with that. Let me set the stage for Asmaniac Madness. I also want to shout out David Atkins, who gifted 10 memberships. But let me read a super chat first, because everyone in the chat, send your well wishes to David. He goes, Jake, thanks for all you do. I had a little hospital stay, out back, at work, doing well. Go Asmaniacs, go Jets. Let's go, David. I'm glad you're doing better. I'm sorry that you were in the hospital, but thanks for the update, and we appreciate you gifting 10 memberships. So let's give him a Jet chant. Let's go. These are from David Atkins. And David, good luck. I'm entering you in the Wayne Corbett signed helmet raffle coming up at the end of today's stream for 10 raffle tickets here. AJ Jets, Dub Proof, P. Fittit, Darnell Robinson, Harvey Bouchard, Card Cave NJ, David R., Rattlehead, Joe Blewett's the GOAT, Colorado Rossi, Mark Baylor, Joe Singh, Blewett. You get the people going. Some of those names might have been fake, but most of them were real. You guess which ones were real and which ones might have been fake. Shout out to Seth McDermott, who gifted a channel membership to himself. He just hit the join button and became a channel member. He's in the raffle.
Jets, Jets.
And this one is from our guy Sham, who says, just quickly dropping by to say Joe Blewett is the man.
Yeah, Sham is the man. Sham is a great dude. I know you know Sham as well. So shout out to Sham. I apologize. I just send him thousands of Google Drives and things to edit for the film reviews. So he worked really, really hard behind the scene for JetX. So we appreciate Sham a ton.
All right, Mr. Blewett, before you get set for the Makai Lemon film review, let's set the stage for Asmaniac Madness. Here we go. I'm excited about this one. It features the 8-9 between two outstanding callers. Ladies and gentlemen, the 8-9 featuring Shawn and Andrew C. The Dream. They're going head-to-head for a spot against Gorman, who won earlier today in the round of 32. If you missed it, though, man, did that have a lot of theatrics.
God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Robert C's singing was not enough. It was Gorman advancing, and now the stage is set. Shawn versus the Dream. Your votes determine who wins. Here we go. Voting is underway.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? You get to pick the ones that make the show rock.
Vote, vote, vote. Your votes determine who's moving on, baby. Joe Blewett, are you ready for Makai Lemon?
Yeah, let's do it. I need to know if that clip was the chewing actual, like, could you hear that or was that edited in? Because either way, it's great, either editing or just the fact that he was just munching while that was happening.
I said, I can't believe you made Charles chew that way to Gator when he sent me that. But I think the thing that Gator's pushing back on when I said that to him is that Charles apparently was doing that, but I don't know if it was to that extent. Now, the singing of Robert C., that was authentic, though. He did sing that earlier.
There is nothing else like the Jake Asman show. We'll just say that.
That is 100% true. And by the way, this is not an easy vote. The Dream and Shawn, if either of you want to call in and make your case, as always, you'll be the first call if you want to call in and state your case. With that, though, we got one more prospect to break down as we are doing some film review on all the top options for the Jets. And this is one I know many are excited to get Joe's thoughts on. Wide receiver Makai Lemon out of USC, who has been a popular pick to go to the Jets at number 16. So here we go. Let's break it down, Joe.
Yeah, I like Lemon a lot. Him and Tate are my 1A, 1B. Again, I am in the mindset of trading up for one of these guys. I feel like they're not going to be there at 16, specifically with some of Jordan Tyson's injuries. I think he'll be able to play for some teams, and he may have like that fall that nobody really expects, but he might be a guy who falls like late first, early second. Like, you know how bad the medicals are with him. So huge question mark, which I only think elevates Makai Lemon's stock. So I think he's gonna be gone. And past that, we'll do Omar Cooper and Concepcion in actually a few weeks. I'm going to give that to you guys. We're going to do some Sadiq. We're going to do some Thiemann still, some Downs, all that stuff. But we'll break those guys down as well. So I still need to round up my thoughts on Concepcion, on Cooper. But I feel like once you get past maybe Concepcion and Cooper, if you don't want them at 16, you're going to 33, and it's guys like Brazil or whoever else it is, like I feel like they're more of like threes who can be twos. So then you kind of have Garrett Wilson in 2 threes instead of like a true 1-2-3. So for me, I am very willing to trade 44 and 16 to get Makai Lemon or a Carnell Tate. I really like these guys, and I feel like they're the true guys who could be like legit running mates to Garrett Wilson, and the other guys are hopeful to be running mates to Garrett Wilson. So I really like him. Again, my 1B receiver, and it's more because of the size than anything, and some of the lack of explosion with a guy like Lemon. Some of the deep speed's lacking as well. But overall, like he's just the type of player who's like a football player, right? I don't think JSN has any any really specific traits in terms of like elite athleticism. He's just a really good football player, and sometimes that's what it is, right? Like don't get so attached to traits at all times. Now, if he's like we're talking about Lemon as the number 2 overall pick, then fine. But nonetheless, let's get into it. This one's a really easy one. With Lemon, I just like pre-snap, he's pointing out to his quarterback, like, hey, something's wrong here. Like, he's very heavy inside leverage. He's looking to the inside. He's starting to press up to the line of scrimmage. So he's probably calling out his number, calling out a blitz, whatever it may be, to the quarterback just to keep him aware. So I like just, again, football player, smart, calling out the blitz to the quarterback where some receivers don't care. And actually, before I get into the play really quick, Jake, I know a lot of people are talking about like the mindset of Lemon and stuff, but I feel like half the receivers in the NFL are crazy or like have some type of quirk about them where like Jefferson has like Jettis, like he has the whole, I don't know if you watch like the Netflix show or whatever, like following receivers, like he's a little bit out there. Jamar Chase is definitely a little bit out there. Puka Nacua is really crazy, so like okay, he's a little bit weird in interviews, but is he like a bad guy? Like I don't know. I wasn't in the meeting rooms, so that doesn't bother me as much. Now, if he went to the meeting rooms and he really was just like a Shadur Sanders type of dude to these guys, then maybe. But nonetheless, let's get into it. Pointing out the blitz, he runs a curl versus off coverage. There's really, we don't have to talk about that too much. The 2 things I like about this, or 3 things. 1, pointing out the blitz to the quarterback, running the curl, right? He not the best break in the world. It's a little bit rounded. Off coverage, he doesn't care. What I love about it is he works back to the football, right? He's not waiting for the football to come to him. He attacks it, which Geno Smith's receivers had quite a bit of trouble with last year, just attacking the football. So works back to it, hands catch, immediately works to the inside away from the outside leverage DB, undercuts a defender there, and like look how bad he breaks the ankles of that linebacker. It's like just roast that linebacker right there. So smarts, good job attacking the ball, and obviously just destroying that guy's ankles at the end of it is the cherry on top for.
Is he the best yak receiver you've studied on tape so far?
Yes, but I have to watch Cooper, so that's a huge question mark. And to me, like just looking at Cooper initially and seeing some plays of him online or like scouting reports or whatever it may be, he seems like a guy who probably should be like a late first, early second type of guy in normal drafts. So I am concerned, like, is he overdrafted at 16? Because he was a second, third round guy for a while, and now he's kind of being elevated. So I'm genuinely very curious. So I'm going to get to Cooper probably in about a week. I'll start watching him. I have to wrap up with Nashawn Wright and Parham before I get to Cooper. But Cooper's going to be the first guy I watch of the draft prospects when I get back into that. And we'll do that review shortly. So I'll see how good he is at yak. But out of the top 3 guys, or the top 3 guys, undoubtedly, it's not even close. Tate doesn't have the best yak at all. And Jordan Tyson, like I know he has good yak numbers, but I watched 5 or 6 games of Tyson. I don't know if I saw him break 1 tackle. I'll be honest. Like he can run into open space and he's fast, but in terms of breaking tackles, it's not there. And I know I wrote in my report that he has some questionable yak vision as well. Nonetheless, bottom right here, this is like a scramble drill situation, so we don't have to talk about the route or anything like that. This is purely about the catch and what makes him so good in contested catch situations at times. Now, obviously 5'11", right, like 190, not the biggest dude in the world, but he knows how to contested catch. Like it's not just, hey, I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you. Like it also comes down to technique, and I think we have broken that down quite a bit on this show about like certain techniques and what you need to do when you're tucking the ball. So scramble drill, right? You have Makai Lemon working in the end zone. Now the concept is dead. Now it's just backyard football. Work to open grass. Shows the quarterback his eyes. Pushes off the DB. Knows the DB is obviously going to be working to him from the outside here. So what I love about this play, and it's so little, but 1, hands catch, and then what DBs are going to be taught to do here is punch through the arms, right? So if you punch through the arms, obviously you can hit the football. But what happens a lot of times is if you punch through the arms, when you then bring the football down, his arm's naturally going to knock that football away, right? So you don't want to just pull it down here, because if he punches through, you could be screwed unless you have really good grip strength or, whatever the situation may be. So ideally, what you want to do is pull the ball away and tuck it. And he's very, very deliberate about going up, catching the ball, pulling it away. Sorry, it's a little bit choppy there at the end, but you see how he pulls the ball away from the DB and then tucks it? There's little things, there's little nuances to contested catching. Again, it's not just bigger, stronger, or anything like that. So really, really good job of hand catch, pull it away, and then tuck it. It's not an immediate tuck. It's pull. Look how far the ball is away from his body. Like, I know it's a little bit grainy right there, but look how far it is away. Like, the DB has no chance of really hitting that ball. The only shot he has is like raking the elbows or something like that and separating it. But hell of a job by Makai Lemon with that catch. And I'll just play it again so you can see it one more time and appreciate it in full speed. But it's the little things that make good football players, and he is a good football player. Okay, so he's in the slot right here, or the inside slot to the bottom, and he uses he uses the hop step initially into a skip release, and does a good job of routing up this DB and then beating him on a slant. So you have some good releases. I think all the receivers in this draft need work on their releases. The best receiver that I've watched so far in terms of releases, and again, he's like my receiver 3 or 4, so don't mistake this for me saying he's better than these guys, but Casey Concepcion has the best releases in the class so far that I've seen, but Lemon has some decent ones as well. Beating the corner there, breaking a tackle, getting some yak, and does a good job. So initially hop step, right? Just a double tap off the left foot. Step with the left, step with the left. That's what we're going to refer to as a hop step. He's just gathering information, closing some ground on the DB, and then he goes right stride and then half left stride to right stab, and I call that's a skip release, because it's not a full stride with the left. He's kind of skipping the step there, and he's just trying to stay square, threaten both ways on the DB, get on his toes, right? You want to get on his toes to threaten him, so he's leaning onto his heels a little bit. He's squared up, feet are inactive because he's just trying to read Makai Lemon. And Makai Lemon, the really important part about this too is defeating the hand, right? Because a cornerback, when he's beat to the inside, is going to try to throw this right hand into his chest, into his shoulder, and effectively slingshot himself back onto the route. So you have to pair the releases with the hands as well. Chops down that arm. We can see that arm gets swiped away, beats him on the slant. Again, break the ankle tackle, and push forward for another 10 or 15 yards. Okay, let's see. Corner post. We got 4 plays left. He is right here in the slot. I'll play it first, and we'll talk about it a little bit. Another contested catch situation. He's not afraid over the middle, like, at all. He does not care. Like, he is kind of a psychopath in that way that a lot of guys, like, they'll hear footsteps and stuff. Tate is like that as well. So runs the corner post, right? Pushes vertical. DB kind of he gives him an easy job here of attacking the blind spot. It's a corner post, so he's going to break into the corner regardless. The corner does not play it well. It's like, I'm not going to give him the most credit here because the DB is just not good in this situation. So corner post breaks underneath of him. That's not the point that I'm trying to make here. It's more the contested catch. And okay, he probably knows the safety's in the middle here. Ball is lofted up there, and he knows he's going to take a huge shot from that DB. Lands effectively on his shoulder and head, and is still able to bring that ball in, right? Like, he knows this is coming, but he's completely fine with, like, exposing his ribs and his body to make catches. Again, he's just a little bit of a psycho, and I love it.
I like psychos. We need a psycho in that room,
dude, no doubt. And, like, I don't know, man. Like, if a receiver is not a little bit of a psycho, is that a red flag? Like, receivers they're a little bit crazy, like I said. So exposes the ribs, takes a huge shot, lands on his head, and still is able to bring in that ball. So love it from Lemon. 3 plays, pressure steps, sideline catch. Okay, so top slot right here. Let's watch the route. He gets a little bit impeded by that linebacker. So you want to see him avoid contact a little bit better with what you call like a secondary release. But what I like here is what we call pressure steps, just to hold that DB. So works to the inside. Linebacker is sitting heavier to the outside, so he doesn't want to work through the linebacker. So he stems him to the inside, chops down the arm, but he still gets he drops his shoulder into him. So he kind of impedes the progress a little bit. Now he doesn't want to just cut to the outside right here because the DB is over the top. So if he just cuts outside, DB is going to match. He got slowed up a little bit. So he's probably going to cover the route relatively well. So he starts to break it to the outside. And then he takes pressure steps, right? So he doesn't want to just break to the outside because he's going to get over top of it. So he cuts it back up the field with 1, 2, 3 pressure steps just to hold him, giving him the outside, break to the outside on that corner route, and then we have a nice sideline catch for him. He has a really good catch radius relative to his size, but hell of a job, obviously here, right?
Tracking. That's a great throw too, by the way, by Mayava.
Oh, excellent! That's as good as that's really as good as it gets.
That's
there.
An unbelievable throw. I'm watching this. I'm like, wait a second, where did he put that?
Dude, and the good thing about this too, and it's like the little things that can make it a catch or not a catch, and I can assume this. I would like to get in the meeting room. Like obviously, I'm not gonna get in the meeting room with Makai Lemon, but I would love to and be like, hey, did you purposefully kind of gear down here and extend to the ball? Because a lot of receivers, they'll run under this ball and they'll kind of like body catch it or catch it close to their body. But when you can get closer to the ball, so can the DB. When you gear down a little bit and then you extend to the ball, it's that extra foot of room that you create for the ball, if that makes sense, right? Because if the ball is into your body, obviously the corner doesn't have to reach out as far. But if you gear down a little bit and kind of effectively box him out like a center would do in the NBA, I think that's probably what the idea is here. Also, again, planting the foot, knowing where the sideline is, attacking the ball, hands catch. I think he gears down to keep him on his back, and obviously makes the catch there. So just an excellent job from Makai Lemon on that play. 2 plays left. If this is going to allow me to pull it up, it's being a little bit sketchy again. All right. I want to go to a chat or something like that for just a second while I figure whatever the hell is going on here.
David's got a good question for you, Joe. How does Lemon deal with press coverage from bigger DBs?
Yeah, so that's something I want to see with all these guys more improve on. Lemon, Tate, and Tyson all are not great with releases, and Lemon's smaller, so yeah, he can get jammed up versus bigger press corners. Tate can as well because he's what, 6'2", 190, 195, so he's not the biggest guy in the world. So in my weaknesses category for Lemon, I did put getting off of press coverage. So that's something that he undoubtedly needs to improve on, but that's something that all of the guys need to improve on. Again, minus, in my opinion, Casey Concepcion, which he can improve on some things, but he's definitely he has good releases, and
there's some off the field stuff with him why he might not go as high. I was reading.
Oh, really? With Casey, I didn't hear any of. I know he's like a stutter that he got made fun of a little bit about at the combine, but I didn't see any off the field stuff.
There's I got to read more into it, but I don't want to say anything bad and not have but yeah, there's something to why he is not thought to be like Omar Cooper now, like in the first round conversation.
Interesting. Yeah, and with him too, I know he has a drop issue. It's undoubtedly there. He had 5 drops 3 years ago, 7 drops, I believe, last year, and then 2 years ago, and then this last year he had 10. And realistically, if it's like 2 drops less, he's more in the average range. Like plenty of receivers have 6, 7, 8 drops. He had 2 more. So that's not going to knock him off my board. It's a negative. But if you watch Texas A&M tape, his quarterback was absolutely horrific. So I think he had 900 yards. Normal quarterback, he probably has another 300-400 yards and probably less drops because the quarterback's putting him in a better position. So KC, I'm a little bit higher. Yeah, KC. So I am higher on KC than other people. He's actually, and I still have to watch Cooper, but he's my receiver 3 right now. So we'll watch him in a couple of weeks. Maybe we'll do him versus Cooper or whatever we're going to do.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad, by the way. I just think there was some maturity stuff with him is what I was hearing about from some people.
The only thing I saw with him was the stutter. I didn't see anything about maturity, but yeah, maybe it's there. I don't know. And
I don't think he's a bad kid by any means. I don't want to slander the guy. I just I know some people that covered him at A&M. I'm just trying to remember who told me that and when at the combine.
Dude, do you know what Reddit's gonna say about you now that you're slamming this dude unfairly? I cannot believe it.
Hey, if they took him in the second round, I'm all for it. But what makes me nervous with anyone they take at 33 or 44 is the Jets' history of second round receivers. So if they're gonna take a receiver at 33. How do we get to pick 32 just so technically they're a first round pick and thus they won't be a bust?
Yeah, like a 5th and a 6th or something like that.
Yeah, get us to 32.
Yeah, it's like if you start to get into that range, I don't think Casey is going to be there. Transparently, I don't think Cooper's going to be there. I think you start talking about the guys like Brazel and Bernard and Boston at 33. And again, I feel like those guys are more like threes who can be twos. So I want a two. Like me personally, give me Lemon, give me Tate. I think those guys can be legitimate running partners. Where the other guys, I'm not so sure they're going to be able to do it. 2 plays left. If you can see the screen, it loaded as being a little bit sketchy for a second.
Yep,
can you see it? Okay, so top slot right here. We'll watch. He does a really good job of attacking the blind spot here. So he's a pretty damn good route runner. Feisty, contested catches. He tracks the ball really, really well on this play, and it's easier said than done to track the ball like this. So starts to push vertical. Right, DB's getting over the top. You know, he knows it's like a deep drop. You know, they have a lot of guys in protection, so he can play with his route a little bit here. I don't think it's by design that he's doing this. Pushes vertical, DB opens up. He doesn't want him to just obviously break to the inside. He's going to match it. So what he does is attack the blind spot. Right, DB has no idea where he is now. So now it could be a panic situation. Is he going to speed turn to the outside? Is he just going to start to angle to the outside, whatever it may be? He does start to angle to the outside. Speed turns, looks for Lemon. As he looks for Lemon undercuts it. So does a hell of a job there attacking the blind spot. And now the quarterback here needs to put this ball lower and more to the sideline than he does. He puts it too high and vertical, which then takes Makai Lemon back into the DB. So it's not the best throw from Maeva, but this is a very good adjustment to the ball where, again, you can see at his angle, and I'll play it through a little bit more here. His angle's a little bit more flat here, but he tracks the ball very, very early, sees the trajectory, and starts to push it more vertical here to get underneath the ball. So this is what we talk about. We talk about ball tracking. So this is a really good example of, say, he pushes vertical to match that ball right there. And then again, does a good job of extending to the ball. His catch radius for his size is very, very good. Brings it in, contested catch. Hell of a job tracking that ball deep from Makai Lemon. Last play from Lemon is a fade touchdown. And this is one of the more, I'm not going to say the most ridiculous contested catch you're ever going to see, but this
I've seen this a bunch.
Yeah, this is probably the best one I saw on tape this year from college football players. So this is a ridiculous play, and it's just a slot fade, right? I don't really even care about talking about the route. You know, he just short strides him a little bit there, tries to get physical, chops the hand down, which is a good job if he makes contact. I can't see if he does. I don't really care about that stuff. I'm just talking about the contested catch in this scenario. So the catch here is ridiculous, dude. Obviously, ball is high into the outside. Extends his hands towards it. What is the DB doing? Like we talk about all the time, get the arm through his arm. So if he pulls it down into him, your arm is naturally gonna knock that ball out. So what he does here is, again, it's like ballsy too. Like he just doesn't care about getting hurt, because a lot of guys here, like, hey, I'm laying almost flat to the ground right here, like parallel with the ground. He's going to land on his back here, and undoubtedly he's going to knock the wind out of himself unless he like holds his breath or whatever it may be. But he doesn't want to, again, tuck this ball in because of the arms. So he's exposing himself to the ground even more so than like tucking and trying to absorb the hit. But again, he doesn't want to tuck it. So what he does is he pulls the ball away, full extension, lands directly on his back, and tucks the ball at the very last second there when the DB's arm is kind of out. But the balls to catch that ball fully extended, pulled away, and not tuck it when you're parallel to the ground with the DB basically like semi laying on top of you with his arms through your arms that is ridiculous. Like that is a stupid contested catch for Makai Lemon. So yeah, like the size isn't great, you know, not the most explosive guy in the world, not the does the contested catch translate because of the size and stuff? I think it does. He's not going to be a guy who's throwing up like fade balls consistently in the NFL, but he could do it. So he's just a very well-rounded, smart, and tough football player that I think is a guy that I'm willing to trade up for. Watching this, I think there's less than 10% shot he falls to 16 in my opinion, unless there's legitimate stuff about the off the field stuff, and then perfect. Like that's the frees up the Jets to take him at 16, but the dude is a baller undoubtedly.
Well, if you look at just how many teams need receivers, there's going to be a run on them, but we don't know the order these teams prefer certain receivers. Remember, Drake London was not going before Garrett Wilson by most people's mocks and opinions leading up to that draft. And Garrett made it to 10, and London obviously has had a really good career in Atlanta. I think he went 8 that year. How many teams in front of the Jets could take a wide receiver? I think the receiver conversation probably starts maybe with the The Browns at 6, I could see it. I think Washington could potentially take a receiver. 8 and 9 are receivers in play. 10, no. Miami, they just traded Waddle, so yes. 12, I don't think so. 13, 100%. 14, yes. I mean, Tampa's invested so much in the receiving room, and Mike Evans just left, so that does complicate things a little. Yeah. I mean, there is a chance he's there. I think a lot of it probably comes down to how do teams feel about Jordan Tyson, because if teams feel okay with his medicals, I know you disagree with this, but there are some people who believe he's the best receiver in the class.
I think he has the highest ceiling in the class. I just think his yak and his route running are generally very overrated. And contested catch situations, I wasn't as impressed as I wanted to be with Tyson, but he has the highest ceiling, so I can admit that. And he would be my receiver 3 if he was healthy, but him with the injuries and the unknown, like he's closer to 4 and 5 than he is to 1 for me. But I don't have the medicals, right? Like I'm not a doctor. I know you have Doc Jets fan on here. Maybe he could, maybe he can get the MRI or the X-rays or whatever and tell us what's going on with the legs. But like now he's not participating in his pro day. He didn't do the combine. It's his other hamstring now. Like he's a guy who's like twitchy and explosive, and now his hamstrings are getting injured. Like I'm not for. He might end up as my receiver 5, just because of the injuries. And again, he's my receiver 3 anyway. So I think with the injuries, then maybe Cooper and Concepcion are above him. But in terms of can you pull up that draft? Like I think there's quite a few teams who could take Lemon. Like realistically, Titans, who is a receiver 2. I know like, hey, Bailey, Bain, whatever it may be, but Titans, who's a receiver 2, Giants, receiver 2, Browns, who are their receivers? Commanders, Samuel's gone. Saints, do they have anybody? Shaheed left, right? And they have Olave, but he's banged up. The Chiefs don't have a receiver 2. Bengals, no, fine. Dolphins, undoubtedly the worst receiver room in the NFL. Cowboys, no, because they have Pickens and Lamb. Rams, yes. Ravens, yes. Bucks, like they invested a ton, but they invested how many years ago was Mike Evans? That was 2013, right? Well,
he's gone, but they still have Godwin, and then they took what's his name from Ohio State, Obuka last year.
Yeah, who mossed Sauce in that one play. I'm blanking on his name too. But yeah, maybe, and like I know Godwin's been injured and stuff, so I could see it. Like I wouldn't put it past the Bucks, right? Like I'm not going to say it's a 0% chance. So in my opinion, watching him, he's like my 5th or 6th overall player. So I don't think he personally falls. And I think you're looking at 16 with, hey, injured Jordan Tyson, Cooper Concepcion, who may be elevated because it's not the best class.
I think you're going to like Cooper. Getting a feel for the type of prospects you like. I think you'll like Cooper because your assessment will be just does a lot of really good things. Like he's not super amazing. He's just really fundamentally sound, and like he was incredibly clutch for Indiana.
Well, we will see in about 2 or 3 weeks, because I legitimately do not know. I haven't watched really anything on him, minus like cut-ups from people I follow on Twitter and stuff, but I want to do my own watching of him, obviously. So I know we're going to do Cooper probably about 3 weeks from now. We have 4 more shows.
Hit the like button, baby. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. If you want to call in, now is the time. Joe Blewett hanging out with us, and we got a battle going on in Asmaniac Madness between the Dream and our guy, Shawn. And right now, it is all the Dream. If you want to call in, Shawn, I see you're in the chat, and make your case. You obviously are welcome to. I'll remind people tonight, we got the Jets Collective, 7 p.m. Eastern. Join me, Samini, and BT, talking some Jets. We'll get into the state of the team and a whole lot more. PBM with a comment here. He says, hands and separation is greater than size and speed, catch and routes. Your thoughts on that, Joe?
Yeah, obviously, like you want all of the above, right? Like you want Denzel Mims with Makai Lemon's like route running ability and stuff. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Like again, tell me what JSN's like elite athletic traits are. And I think people look too much into like, hey, I need a big receiver next to Garrett. Well, I think that stuff is so overrated. Can you get open? Can you catch the football? Like, yes, he can. And realistically, AD Mitchell is your X. I'm not saying he's your number 1, but he's your X. He's your vertical threat. So he's going to play X. So the Jets really need, in my opinion, like a slot or a Z receiver, and Makai Lemon fits perfectly into there, where he could play slot, he could play Z. I don't think he's going to play a lot of X because he's not going to win vertically a ton, and Garrett Wilson's not the best vertically either. So I think you want Garrett Wilson more Z and slot, but Makai Lemon could intersect with him, and they could both play slot and Z. 80 is your X. Like, I'm completely fine with taking. I see the comments like, oh, he's a small receiver. Like, okay, just because you're big, Denzel Mims, doesn't mean you're good. So I'm 100% with that commenter. Like, yeah, give me the guy who can route run and catch the ball over. Hey, he's big, so let's just throw fade balls to him in the end zone. Like, that's not what happens, you know. So I'm 100% for Makai Lemon. I think the big receiver stuff next to small receiver stuff is generally horseshit.
Well, I think the thing is too. Like, I remember Garrett Wilson said, hey, if you think like I'm good or Olave's good or like Marvin Harrison Jr.'s good, like JSN's the best of all of us. Remember he had that comment a couple years ago, or maybe it wasn't Marvin Harrison, but it was Jamison Williams. It's like, if you think like we're good, like, no, like JSN's better than all of us. Yet JSN is falling till after Will McDonald is picked. Like, these teams overthink it sometimes, man. Like, I like, how tall is Amon-Ra St. Brown? That's why he fell to the 4th round. Like, again, like, if you tell me Makai Lemon is a baller, I had no problem taking him just because he's 5'11" at pick 16.
Yeah, and I see the comments like Jay Reeves is saying he's not a Z. Tell me why he's not a Z. Like, you don't have to get Preston Z. Like, there's so many different formations where they're tighter to the box, and corners are going to play off and stuff. Like, he's not an X, but a Z is going to be off the line of scrimmage, going to be moving a lot, going to be not facing press coverage. So tell me why he's not he's too small for a Z. What does that even mean? Like, you don't have to.
So here's the thing: you got to understand this about 3 siblings. Jay Reeves. He's afraid to call in. We actually have a term on the show called Jay syndrome. It's when the lights get too bright and you collapse and choke. You can't call in and articulate your points. You just troll in the comment section. So you won't actually get Jay to call in.
I don't understand how he doesn't fit with Garrett Wilson. If one can play Z and one can play slot, how does he not fit? Like, it's okay. So then what? You're going to take, you want a guy who could play X, then you're going to put AD Mitchell as a slot or a Z and put him at a position. Like, if anything, he fits well with Garrett Wilson. Again, just give me the good football player. Tell me, like, so if JSN was in this draft, he's not big, we can't take him. Like, no, give me JSN, I will take him. Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, he's great. Like, I don't need a guy who's Mike Evans. Like, yeah, sure, it'd be nice to have a Mike Evans on the team, but I'm not going to just knock Makai Lemon because he's not 6'5". Like, he's a good football player.
Yeah, I'm with you. The other receiver that I'm intrigued by is Denzel Boston. I know you're not as high on him, but he's getting a lot of first-round buzz as well because, unlike Makai Lemon, for the Jays out there, he is really tall. For those who missed the breakdown, I believe we did on him, or did we do one on him? I think we might have
on Boston. I don't think so.
I think you talked about him. Maybe we didn't show plays, but what was your assessment watching him? Because he's another name I've seen mocked to the Jets a lot.
Yeah, I think we talk about the shows we're going to do. I think actually next week we're going to do Love, who I know your boy. I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head. He's super into Love because he's in my chat talking about Love. So I think next week we're going to do.
Yeah, Luke B wants the Jets to take Love.
We're going to do Love in Boston, I believe, next week. So actually talk about Boston. I'm not the biggest fan of Boston. Now, maybe I pick, like, and again, I'm always transparent. Like, typically in the past, I would watch every single game of these guys. This year, I wanted to spread out a little bit. Your show, my show. Again, it's better to get a little bit wider of a range instead of like really focusing on 5 to 10 guys. So maybe I picked the wrong 5 games of Boston in terms of contested catching, but I wasn't as impressed as I thought I would be with the contested catches. Again, transparently, maybe the other 7-8 games, he's much, much better. I just don't see him getting great separation. I don't think there's any like physical characteristics that really make him stand out. I don't think the route running is all that great. I just worry about, hey, he's a contested catch guy at college. That's super risky in terms of like, hey, that's your main thing is contested catching, because there's been so many guys who've been good at contested catches who don't translate necessarily. I'm not saying he won't. It's just concerning. Like, Hakeem Butler was a monster a few years ago at Arizona State contested catching, and then he transitioned to like a tight end and fell out of the league in like 2 or 3 years, or Laquan Treadwell or whoever it may be. So I can tell you personally, if they took Boston at 16, that would be one of the, I think that would be one of the worst picks that they could possibly make. I think out of 20 players, he's like my 20th player. So I would be honest, I'll be furious at 16. Now 33, okay, in the conversation, but he would be so overdrafted at 16.
Raffle at the end of the show. We're going to give away a Wayne Corbett sign helmet. I'm going to gift a membership right now. Appreciate everyone hanging out. If you get one from me, I'll put you in the raffle for one. We are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. St. John's and Duke NCAA tournament, Sweet 16 Friday night. The Johnnies a 6.5-point underdog. We'll show other games via FanDuel throughout the week, but we're pumped up for St. John's. And if you want to bet on St. John's or any game in the NCAA tournament, make sure you do it with our sponsor, FanDuel. One gifted membership from yours truly has been fired away, and Jets92, you're a channel member, and you're officially in the Asmaniac raffle for one. All right, before we get to your calls, I want to play you something from Dan Orlovsky. Orlovsky being put to the task by Pat McAfee for his take about Ty Simpson. So, Joe, this is from the show today where Orlovsky was a guest with McAfee, and here's the two of them arguing over Mendoza versus Simpson. I respect the hell out of your take on things, so I want you to hear it and then give us your thoughts.
It's on the ground, saw Fernando through the biggest games, and it's just like everything about him just screams.
What biggest games, Pat?
Huh?
What biggest games?
The college football playoffs.
Now you're playing possum.
No, you're right. Those SEC games are bigger than the fucking playoff games, Dan.
Am I allowed to ask questions and have an opinion as well?
They played each other head to head.
Okay, Dan, do you just have so the college football playoffs a big mockery, a scam, doesn't mean anything. These games just don't matter. Like, what do you mean? What are the biggest games? They have a full fucking committee. They have billions of dollars in TV rights for what the biggest games are.
Okay, and so no, I'm aware of that, dude. Like, you guys. Okay, so in the biggest games, so the college football playoffs started, and they played opening.
Well, you started a Big Ten championship, I guess. You could say Big Ten.
Okay, Big Ten championship. Okay, Big Ten championship. In that game, they're down 13-6 going into the fourth quarter. Indiana.
And then what?
Boom.
So do they win the game?
And then what, brother?
Yes, but
we're talking about all the moments. You're talking about traits. It's like, okay, how about 2nd and 17?
6 points through the first 3 quarters. People.
Ohio State's defense is a historic defense. Like, what are we even talking about?
People crucified Arch Manning for doing that on the road.
Crucified Arch Manning. Arch Manning's not a part of this conversation.
Well, if you go by that too, like Indiana beat Alabama, 38-0. I mean, it's
Yeah, so we're just picking and choosing.
No. You
yeah. And this is why people say you're getting paid to do this. You know what I mean, Dan?
No, because I'm giving you factual information, not opinion. They had 6 points through the first 3 quarters in the Big Ten title game.
Against Ohio State, look up who their defense is. Look up what that defense is. That's like one of the greatest defenses in the history of football. And then what did he do? Then what did he do, Dan?
The biggest moment.
And what did he do, Dan?
The biggest court.
Charlie Becker. I think he threw the post to start the second half, which is a great throw and a great recognition.
And a huge moment after getting beat. So mental toughness is there. And then obviously being able to take a shot. He cracked his rib on the first play. I mean, there's just like, because then you're going to hold injuries on the other side. It's like, well, how about first play a Big Ten championship guy gets this and then takes 2 plays off. Oh, wow, I just got cracked. No pause, he said on our show. And then he jogs back out there. It's like, is that not a trait? I don't know. You tell me.
Of course it's a trait. No one's questioning if he's a tough guy or a good player.
So the part that gets me crazy is when Orlovsky tried to downplay the big games Mendoza played in this year. So Chase Daniel put together the big games Mendoza was in against Ohio State, the Bama playoff game, the Oregon playoff game, and the national title game against Miami. Indiana averaged 32 points per game, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. You saw the clip yesterday where Orlovsky tried to argue that Ty is actually the best quarterback. You've watched all these guys, Joe. Where do you stand on this?
Yeah, I think Chase Daniel's a Simpson guy as well. But you have to be fair. Like, yeah, Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, right? Like, I don't know if did they play Oklahoma? I forget. But like, he played plenty of big teams and was very good. So that's a terrible point by Orlovsky. I think if you're trying to argue like the things that I've been arguing in terms of like, okay, and I know Sabo too, like great situations, RPO, first read, only shotgun, like that's the stuff I'd argue with Mendoza. But in terms of like not showing up versus big teams, I think you're reaching a little bit there. Now, I get the point slightly like, hey, the only reason he had to come back in those big situations is because he wasn't great the first 3 quarters, but you still have to give him credit coming back, have to have it situations, getting cracked versus Ohio State, like first play of the game, coming right back out and playing well. So there's legitimate criticism to Mendoza, and I'm definitely not as high on it as some other people. I know Sabo isn't either, and plenty aren't. I think he's in a great situation consistently. And I know people say like, I think excuses, like context is now excuses. Like, why, if we can't add context to situations, why don't we just look up stats of guys and just draft the best guy with stats, because context doesn't matter, right? So like context does matter. But to say he didn't show up in big games or play any big games, like that's obviously ridiculous from Orlovsky. But I get it in terms of like, hey, yeah, the only reason he had to come back. But like Pat said, Ohio State has like 45 first round picks on their defense. Like, it is ridiculous how many guys are good on that defense. So,
and their DC is an NFL defensive coordinator, Patricia.
Yeah, ridiculous. He's ridiculous. So, yeah, I don't like Mendoza as some others, but I think that's a reach for Dan. And I see Jay in the chat, like, Mendoza's not generational. He's not even close to generational. But nonetheless, he's a good prospect. I think he's being a little bit overvalued though. If
the Jets could take him at 2, though, I would take him. Sabo said earlier he wouldn't. I think that's where we go too far. It's like come on, man. The guy's 6'5". He started 30-something games in college football. He's gotten better every year. He's like a football nerd in like the best sense of it. Like, if this is not a guy that you would invest the second pick and take a chance on, who is?
Yeah, I would say I'm not strong one side or the other with that. Like, if he was there, I wouldn't be like really pissed off if they passed on him either.
Well, they don't have the trade attitude and get a huge haul. The Raiders were dumb enough to, let's say, we love Simpson. They take him 1. All right, great. If the Jets aren't sold on Mendoza, I don't think this would happen. You trade out and get a huge haul from someone because someone's going to come up for him.
Yeah, I see somebody in the chat saying he's 100% generation. That tag is used way. There cannot be a generational quarterback every year. That cancels out It's not generational. That's not what that word means.
Well, you can pick the right guy, and we won't. Like, the Jets picked Darnold. He was the right pick. He just won a Super Bowl. Played great for them. And they surrounded him with nothing, and he didn't have the coach and development that he needed. And that's it for me. Like, I think Mendoza could be very good if you put him in the right situation. Otherwise, he'll stink like a lot of guys.
That's the thing with Mendoza. It's like, okay, consistently in 2nd and 3s, RPOs, first guy open, contested catches, excellent defense, excellent running game. RPOs froze the linebackers, plus the good running game. So he was in as good of a situation as you can possibly be in. So that's some of my questions about him. And when things broke down, he was not as great. So I'm curious, like, hey, Indiana. Or the Raiders are not Indiana of NFL. So I think he may struggle a little bit more than some people think he may. Now, I think he could be good too, but I do think he's generally overrated. I think generational tag on him is ridiculous. I think the last generational quarterback was Luck, right? Like, I would have been called Lawrence generational when he was coming out. I thought that was overused for Lawrence because Lawrence had like 35, 40, 45%, whatever it was, like targets behind the line of scrimmage. So I even had questions about Lawrence, but Mendoza is not. I'm sorry, obviously, Eddie, respect your opinion or whatever, but I cannot call him generational. I think he's being overvalued in a quarterback class that's not very good. I think if you put him in the class of like, Jaden Daniels, Drake May and stuff, whatever it is, like, he may be the 3rd or 4th quarterback in some drafts. It's just this draft sucks, and he's the number 1 quarterback.
By the way, Joe Flacco, breaking news, back to the Bengals on a 1-year deal. So I didn't think he'd be a Jet candidate, but he's officially off the board for those following the backup quarterback market. Joe Blewett's my guest. If you guys have a question for Joe, write it in. Let me ask you about Ty and take this a little further now. If the Jets could get Ty Simpson at 16, are you pulling the trigger and kind of assess what the circumstance has to be where you're comfortable making that pick, or when you'd be comfortable making that pick?
Yeah, I think like 2. I'm not with 16. I think he's like my 9th player on my board, so it depends on who's there. I'm not going to run up the card necessarily, but I would take him. I would take him at 16. I think the stuff about next year's class, I think we're kind of like, remember how last year we're talking about, hey, everybody's saying that 2025 is the best class, 2025, and then everybody kind of went by the wayside, and there was only like really one lockdown 1st-round pick this year. And I put out a tweet yesterday. I was responding to BJF, and like all these quarterbacks, Sellers is one of those quarterbacks, right? He was probably a mid-round pick this year, right? If you were to come out. So now he's suddenly going to be a 1st-round quarterback. Saying, I watched him in Ohio State. I am not a big Saiyan fan. I can tell you that right now after watching Cardinal Tate. So I'm not sure he's going to be a top 5 even first round quarterback. Mensa was a 2nd round-ish guy this year, maybe late 1st. You have Dante Moore. I had Simpson over Moore, so I don't even love Dante Moore. You have Maava, who was a late 1st, early 2nd guy. So like, are we so sure that this class is going to be so good? And if we do land a quarterback this year, then we could take those 3 first-round picks next year in what is supposed to be a generational class and just attack the offense, the defense, whatever it may be. So I'm not so sure that they're automatically going to have a better option than Simpson next year, whether it be their pick 10 and the top 2-3 guys, are gone 1, 2, 3, and no team will trade down with the Jets. Like, there's so many factors into next year where it's not guaranteed that they get some stud quarterback. So I think Ty Simpson at 16 would be plenty worth it. I think, again, he's like 8th on my board. So I would be okay with taking him, but it's not something like he's like my number 1 or 2 or 3 player where I'm running up the card for him. It all depends. I'm okay with taking a shot. I'm okay with taking a shot there personally.
I think it comes down to their assessment of next year. And also, like, what's the plan for Ty if you take him? Like, when does he get in and show you something? And if you're Aaron Glenn and you're coaching for your job, are you operating in the best interest of the player's development at that point? It's just, there's too many questions for me at 16. I'm comfortable doing it at 33 because I think you could talk yourself into it. And look, we don't know for sure, but I just think odds are there'll be 3 or 4 first-round quarterbacks a year from now. Like, it seems like in years when you get the rare 1 or 2, like this year is, typically you bounce back and you get multiple the following year. So I'll play the odds that we do get, you know, that big Arch Manning year, Dante Moore, Lenora Sellers, Brandon Sorsby, Jaden Mayava, who we just watched with the Makai Lemon tape. Darian Mendoza, who's now at Miami, can maybe do what. I just think there'll be guys. Like, I don't know for sure. You're right, but I don't want to force the pick unless they're fully convinced Ty Simpson's their guy.
Yeah, you don't force it, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, I don't want to be like, oh, well, next year's is a guarantee we get somebody either, right? Like, again, what if it's only 2 or 3 guys and the Browns, the Cardinals, and whoever else is at the top, and they're like, nope, screw the Jets, we need a quarterback, we're not trading up, and they're sitting there with their, I'll say their piece in their hands and just waiting for a quarterback to fall to them or whatever reach. So if you like Simpson, I'm okay with taking him, and then you can take those 3 first-round draft picks and really address the roster. But you don't reach for him. If you like him, take him. I'm okay at 16. I'm not running up the card necessarily, but I like him enough where I think it would be an okay pick. And it made the year very interesting for me. I can tell you that right now, because I was probably the first one on the Simpson defender strain. Yep. I'm not like I see people in the chat and other chats, whatever it is, and it's like, oh, Joe Blewett thinks he's generational or excellent. I never, ever, 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 not once said that. I just said talking about them changing situations from Mendoza to Simpson would be different. I like him enough where I'll take him at 16 though. In short.
Love it. All right. This super chat's from Sam. Are there instances Lemon changes his routes mid-router due to coverage he sees?
Coverage he sees? Yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah. There's a route I remember specifically. He's running a dig route and he flattens it out because there's a safety driving down from the inside third. And so he flattens it out and then prepares himself for a hit. We saw him adjusting to guys like coverage in that review, like attacking blind spots and stuff like that. So yeah, Lemon is a smart, gritty football player. So that's why I like him. So yeah, no doubt he'll change his routes and adjust.
This was just circulating on Twitter, Joe Blewett. Here is the head coach of the New York Jets spending some time in the wonderful state of Indiana today. Here is Aaron Glenn live at the Fighting Irish Pro Day talking with the head coach of Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman. This is from Drew Mentok, who covers Notre Dame for Bleacher Report.
Some of the they were talking to Beck the other day. Now it's like, oh my God, they're going to draft Beck in the second round. Like, if they went all the way to Miami and weren't talking to Beck, they're not doing their jobs. Like, pictures of them with people and whatever. Like, come on, I don't know. Notre Dame though, it's loved. Do they have any other first near top first round guys? I don't know if they.
Their other running back is a guy who could go pretty high.
He's really, really good. The backup running back as well. Just watching. Watching Love, the backup is awesome as well. Now I'm starting to see him like late first, early second talk as well. So he's a baller as well. But like, they're talking to Beck. Yeah, they better be talking to Beck. Or, oh my God, they're looking into this prospect. They better be looking into that prospect. Like, let's not overrate all of this stuff. It's crazy how much people look into these things. Like, they're doing their jobs.
There's Aaron Glenn yesterday talking to Beck. He's telling him it's coaching, man. It's coaching. Play calling's my superpower.
Who is he talking to right there? That's
Carson Beck. This is yesterday.
Oh, he's one of those dudes with no chin. No, I don't know if I could draft him.
Carson Beck doesn't have a chin. I was not expecting that take.
It's very it's not there. You know, he has that face. I don't know. No, I would have to watch him. Is he like a guy who, because of lack of arm strength? Now, I don't know if the arm strength was because of the injury he had, or if it's just he doesn't have the strongest arm in general. Like, I haven't really watched Carson Beck like that, but he feels like a guy who is a good backup, type of player, or can develop in stat where maybe he's not a starter. So where do you draft that? And I feel the same way about Nussmeier. I do not see Nussmeier being a starter in any shape or form. form. I've said it before. I do not like Nussmeier at all. So it's gonna be interesting to see because you just said Flacco signed. Like, who are we talking about now? Cooper Rush, Tyrod.
It's Tyrod or Cooper Rush, or they draft Ty Simpson and they won't, and it'll just be Bailey Zappi. That's my theory on why they haven't signed a real backup. Because if they draft someone, they're not going to spend real resource on they're not going to spend $5 million on a backup quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know if is there anybody they could swing like a 6th round pick for or something. I really don't know. Again, Ty Simpson would make the season so interesting. So I'm gonna get labeled as I think he's generational, which is just stupid. I'm just trying to apply context, which people say is excuses. But again, why not just watch YouTube highlights and whoever has the best stats is the best player then. So it'll definitely be interesting because right now, like Gino and Zappy, like it's just so uninspiring. There's really no shot at like, hey, this guy could be the long-term answer.
This is yesterday at the University of Miami. There's Aaron Glenn on the left and the Mooj standing tall. I like his sneakers. Those like green Nikes, green and white Nikes that the Mooj is rocking.
He looks like he got a little bit more gray from last year as well. I don't know if the Jets drop is stressing him out a little bit, but yeah, like it's silly season. Now you have Orlovsky, who's apparently, texting 15 GMs, like he has numbers, and like Kuiper's like, oh, the GMs I reached out to, and then Mike Tannenbaum, the GMs I reached. Like if GMs are talking to you or teams are talking to you right now, they're putting out a smoke screen and hoping it gets out there. Like nobody's telling these guys any valuable information. I don't think so. There might be teams like, yeah, I have Simpson in the first because they want him to be overdrafted. Or there might be teams who are saying, yeah, I have Simpson in the 2nd round because they don't want him to be drafted early. So like it is we're grasping at straws right now for some of the draft stuff. But
real quick, I got to put Jay Reeves in his place here. I mentioned I liked Muji sneakers. He goes, the glaze is unreal. I'll compliment Aaron Glenn as well. I like Aaron Glenn's white sneakers too. You bozo.
I'm a bigger fan of the all white than the green Nikes. I honestly wasn't the biggest fan of the green Nikes, but it's okay. I'm a more fan of those. Look like the low white like low cut Air Forces or whatever they are. So they look better. I'm a bigger fan of Glenn shoes.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Joe, I will let you run. I know you've been super busy. Thanks for hopping on and your film breakdowns. Excellent as always.
Yeah, man, it's been crazy. I'm telling you, I think I averaged like 4 hours of sleep the last like week or two. So for the people bitching about like, oh, the hour time change from daylight saving, like get over yourself. Come on. Or like, oh, I flew to the West Coast. I can't deal with it for a week. Like just people are so soft. But yeah, it's been like 4 hours of sleep for 2 weeks, 2 kids, crazy with the film and all that stuff. So stupidly busy, but exciting times now with free agency with the draft. And then we'll get into Love Boston next week, some Concepcion, some Cooper, so much more to do. 4 more weeks. I'm so excited for the draft.
Love it. Joe, we'll talk soon. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Yep. See you, Jake.
Joe Blewett with us. Great spot with him. Make sure you guys check out his work with Jets X Factor. Subscribe to their channel on YouTube for all of Joe's film breakdowns. Update in the madness. Shawn, the 8 seed. Andrew C., the dream, the 9 seed. The comeback going to start. We find out right now. It's Andrew C., the dream, leading 64-36. But we haven't heard from either of these two competing until right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is a man that is revered in this community. Hit it.
Shawn, he wears batshit crazy glasses. Spikes his football in the toilet. He might be a little drunk. 3D Gary thinks the guy is a midwit. Is that a Cybertruck on his face? Let's ask Shawn Sugator.
Hey Jake, how you doing?
Shawn, what's going on, man?
It's going, things are, flying by. Time's flying by, it seems like, with my daily, going out there, doing my thing, you know what I mean? Hustling,
Making the magic happen, if you will.
Yeah. Every day, all day, trying to do my thing. But, yeah, with Joe Blewett, honestly, I agree with the Ty Simpson theory on what he said. Basically saying like if he falls, I want him to fall to 33, honestly. I'd rather take him in the 2nd round than the 1st. If he falls, if he's there. Because what he said about next year, there's no like guarantees about the draft next year where we'll land. What happens if we get the 10th pick overall? And
You
we're
might have to
missing out on
trade
the
up.
top.
Yeah.
That's the thing, but who are you going to trade up with if they don't want to, give up the pick?
There's a risk, but do you take Ty Simpson unless you're fully convinced he's actually going to be a franchise QB? Like, you got to know. You got to have conviction. You can't just be like, well, we don't know next year. We'll just do it now. Like, you got to have a real plan if you're taking Ty.
Yeah, but that's the desperation you're at when you're the Jets. It's always a desperation period. It feels like we're always like reaching for something or overpaying free agents or hoping this, UDA like does something. UDFA, does something and becomes like another, wanker bet. It's always wishful thinking with our fan base. But I'm here like I'm making a game room basically. Oh, look at this. I got a photo, right, of Garrett's infamous catch, one of the best catches in Jets history. Yeah, yeah. I remember watching it, thinking he got his feet. He got in, man. He made that catch. It was like miraculous. But I always compare him to Altoon, but because they're almost like finesse wide receivers. But
how about this game room there, Shawn? Can we see what you're working with in this game room of yours?
Oh yeah. I'm just still like setting it up, like in the process. See, this is my Martian dude. I didn't name him yet. I think it's Zeppy. I think I'm gonna name him.
Giuseppe?
Just Zeppy, not just Zeppy, like Zeppy.
Zeppy?
Yeah. It's just I got my Garrett Wilson jersey right here. Next to my punching bag. I got some posters,
How often do you punch your punching bag?
I say like 3 times a week. I'll do like 20 minutes on it.
You blow out some steam?
Yeah, just to keep in, somewhat shape, because drinking really, it tends to get to your health. But so I'm trying to do that.
Who do you think drinks more, you or your competitor in the Madness matchup, Andrew C?
Andrew C, man. Andrew C's a dog. He's like that old school drinker, I'm like a mild type drinker compared to him. Like, honestly, he'll probably put me under the table. Not for real.
You ever have Sailor Jerry?
Yeah, I had that.
That's his go-to drink.
I didn't prefer it too much. Like, I often pick my usuals. But my thing is vodka and just regular beer. I'm mostly a beer drinker. But they got Kiss. Remember Kiss, man?
Oh yeah, Gene Simmons.
In the 70s, man, nobody could stop them. But yeah, so yeah, that's it, Oh, and vote for me, man, because I give you pleasure without the pain.
Beastbreaker writes, "And alcohol kills brain cells."
Then Beast, man, I thought you would have been a great alcoholic then, man. For real. You have like 2 brain cells left and they're, playing Uno. But
you think?
Don't let go of the rope. What rope are you talking about? This whole team looks like it's shot to shit. Who the hell you think you are? I am. 2 brain cells, huh? You ain't got 0 brain cells. The only thing you got is a small, teeny weeny egg brain from the 80s going, this is your brain.
You're like an Al Heyman bunion. Come on, man. You're like an Al Heyman, like a turd, that fell in the toilet.
I don't think
you're like a turd.
You're
a turd muffin.
I will rip your throat out from top to bottom. You don't want to go here. You don't want to try me right now.
Okay.
You want to try.
The last of the.
Back off, jack off.
The last of the Dohikans. Okay.
All right, son. I prefer to be the savage that I am. I'm just a savage.
Yeah, savage in wetting the bed.
Yeah, you're
Dude,
full
you
of
get,
shit.
you get rid of those.
That's why you're a fraud, Joker.
Did you have like those lights? Get rid of those lights from your bed or bed bugs, whatever you have.
You got nothing to say. That's why you're a wimp. You're a one-legged gimp, and you look like a moron on crack cocaine, buddy boy.
Dude, yo, go in the mirror and look at yourself. I
Fuck
would like
you.
drown myself in the toilet if I look like that.
Eat a bag of dicks while you're at it.
Oh, come on. I don't want to talk, Tim. You screwed up my time with Robbie. Said
Bobby, I'm listening.
What?
You're skinny as a rod. Okay, that's good. Goodbye.
That's what I thought.
He's skinny as a rod, Shawn.
All right, Jake, man. I just called. You know, I didn't want to talk to Beast because I know Beast he likes to flare off, you know, and pound his chest like a gorilla. You know, so
How does he do it? Like this?
Like,
I am Beast.
You know,
I am Beast.
like
Yep.
a howling monkey. But I just want to see Arvo Reese pick number 2. Let's do this.
Okay.
And I would go mostly defense, honestly, in this draft. Mostly defense. I'll get the wide receiver too, though.
We need a receiver.
Yeah. All right, Jake, my brother.
Well, Shawn, you're a
The
great
King
caller.
Lewis
Good luck in this battle against the Dream. You're both excellent. And no matter who wins, we're just glad you're both in the tournament.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Raffle coming up for the Wayne Corbett sign helmet. It says Green Lantern on it, so it's not your typical Corbett helmet. It's the 96 style helmet that Wayne Corbett wore during his rookie year with the Jets in 95 and 96. Let's see. Derek, the Kansas Jet fan. Thank you, Derek. He is in the raffle for
They
one.
wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Derek, appreciate you. Cisco Lopez in the house. He's in the raffle for 5.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
Oh, we're getting crazy. All right. Let's do some more calls here. Appreciate everyone's patience. Chef Brian is next. Hey, Chef.
Yo, what up, Jake? Do I sound like farts today or I'm all
No,
good?
so far so good, man.
All right, man. Freaking awesome. Yo, that segment with Joe Blue is so interesting, man. But I'm excited.
He's a wizard. He's so good at what he does.
For real, man. The lemon thing was awesome. The way he was describing the route running and everything, that's pretty interesting. So I wanted to say about that pick 16. If we do get Ty Simpson, which I'm not good with that. I'd rather get more weapons for Geno as much as we can, to try to get as many wins as possible. I don't really want to wait till next year because, like Shawn was saying before, like there's no guarantee, man, that we could move up in that draft. So, it's a little worrisome. But I feel comfortable, Jake. You know why? Because if we do take Ty Simpson 16, you got the man Frank Reich there, man. He's old school. He's a quarterback. I would feel all right with Frank Reich, kind of taking him under the wing. And
we might have to put that on a shirt. I would feel all right with Frank Reich.
There you go. Send it right over. For real.
We'll give you royalties on that. All
right.
2 people that buy that shirt.
Listen, I really am comfortable with that pick at 16, although I would rather take a receiver or another weapon. But if we do take him, Frank Reich will take him under the wing, and I wouldn't play him right away. Play Geno, see what you could get out of Geno. He might not even have to play all year. If Geno does his thing, which I think he will. I think if we run the ball, keep the games close, defense takes a step up. Glenn's gonna be. Glenn's on the hot seat, man. He's gonna risk it. I wouldn't hold back if I was him. So, hopefully, if we do get Simpson, I'll feel good about that pick.
I think that's well said, Brian. But even with what you're saying, you're like, yeah, I'm good with it, but like I'd rather a receiver. That's how the Jets can't think that way. It has to be, this is the guy. We don't care what other people are saying about him. We've done our homework. We know this guy can be a franchise quarterback. They need to have that type of conviction if you're taking the guy 16th overall. It's different at 33. You could like him, not love him, and think it's a worthwhile risk there. That's different. At 16, the plan organizationally has to be, we believe in this guy, and we're going to help him reach his highest ceiling, which we believe he could be a top 15, top 12 quarterback in the league. Because that's what he has to be for this team to ever win consistently.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for taking my call. I wanted to show you real quick. My wife got me this awesome thing for the wall. It's got that
the Super Bowl 3. Yeah.
Yep, and look who's running the ball right there for that touchdown.
Matt Snell. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, this is my little man cave. It's better down here. Doesn't sound like farts. So I'm glad.
Brian, excellent job, man.
See you guys. Thanks for taking my call.
What does everybody? What do you need? What do you want? And what are you looking for? Leave a message at the beep. Beep.
Big Show.
Leave a message at the beep.
We're talking about Big Show.
Show? Show must be out.
Big Show.
There's no big show there. Leave a message at the beep. Thank you.
We're talking about Big Show.
You mean big show. Ooh, yeah. There's no big show here. Let's go back. Let's go back to Jake, please. Thank you.
Jets, Jets.
There's no big show there, so we're going back to Jake. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Blewett, who was just on the show, gifted 5 channel memberships. Everyone give Joe a hug.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Joe, you're in the raffle for 5. Good luck. Man with a rake. Good to see you, man with a rake. You're in the raffle for 1. Let's go. Hit it, Woody.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
And we have this from Drew Wayne Sherbet in the raffle for 1. Hit the Cho Jet chant.
Jets, Jets.
So Big Cho was actually next. I was going to go to him. The good thing is we don't have Big Cho, but we have someone who could step it up and deliver a call when we need it. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the #1 overall seed for a reason.
Hello, Jake.
From the Green Bean Lair, Kyle Clifton joins us.
Yes, that's correct. So, Joe is terrific. Very informative and a great guest.
I learned so much every time he's on, man. Just not even just the way he describes football and picks up. I never would have noticed the subtle thing that Makai Lemon did on that catch, where the way he held the ball in a certain way on that contested, just stuff like that. He points out that he sees. He's so good.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I wanted to ask him, and maybe I'll ask you since you're here, is are there day 2 receivers that you kind of had a chance to watch or kind of have an affinity for?
So I like Boston, but he might be a day 1 guy, but I'm not sure. I'll give you another guy that I've been watching because DT talked about him, so I watched some stuff on him. Jeremy Bernard from Bama, Ty Simpson's teammate.
Mm-hmm.
Big play receiver, Y/Z type of guy. I'm intrigued by him. And then I watched Brazel yesterday after we talked about him on the show, and Chris Sims ranked him pretty high. So I guess I'm pretty intrigued by him. He's 6'4". I've been looking at some of the vertical, taller types for day 2 to complement Garrett.
Right. That's kind of what I'm looking for too. And some of these day 3 guys, whether it's the Georgia State guy or Brazel or Lance, or I kind of want to bring someone in that's a true X and see if we could use AD as your Z and move Garrett into the slot a little bit more. That's my dream scenario. Now, I feel like we're going to end up taking more than one receiver in this draft, and the more interchangeable, the better. I feel like maybe the return guys are kind of set, assuming that we're going to Isaiah Williams is going to be here, and why wouldn't you after last year?
I think he will be. Yep.
Yeah. It's just a matter of maybe it's a matter of accumulating picks to take shots at these guys, because I have a feeling that they're all pretty close. Like, I don't think this is like a year where there's one guy at the top. Like everyone was enthralled with Marvin Harrison, and that didn't quite. I think there was three guys. Like this year, there was three guys and I think that maybe Adunze was one of them, and there was kind of different flavors with them. If I had my druthers and he were healthy, I think Tyson's has the most talent, but like. I would be kind of reluctant to bring in Lemon, even though he's, because he's kind of pigeonholed in that slot role, and I really think that's where Garrett would shine if we could get him there.
They need to get another receiver badly because you can't maximize Garrett, who you already paid,
right?
Unless you do that. So that and honestly, I don't know how you feel about drafting two of these guys, but I'm okay with it if they did it at 16 and 44 for what it's worth.
I mean, if they're able to go back and get additional picks, if they can, go add to the existing 9, I might be okay with taking 3 because, Mechie's not on the roster. We're trying to force Arian Smith off the roster.
Package picks and move up, too. Why not take the 12 4s you have and get back into the 3rd round if you really want another guy you like, too?
Right. I mean, since we spent a 4th round pick on Arian Smith, he's going to be in camp and he's going to compete. But, if he fizzles in camp, he's gone, man.
Yeah. This is like Malachi Corley last year, where I knew all summer he wasn't making the team. Like I feel that way about Arian Smith. Gun to my head, he's not on the week 1 roster.
So, for me, the dream thing is you bring in an X, you're able to play AD and Z. You have Garrett, or you can move Garrett around. Garrett's in the slot in 3 wideout sets, and sometimes he's playing the Z. And sometimes, AD has shown the ability to play the X, but also a gadget guy, a guy that can fill the role that you intended for Arian Smith, like a total burner that would be your 4th guy that can actually get on the field. That's really what we need to get to, and that's what I wanted to get out there today. I appreciate your time as ever, Jake.
Who'd you vote for, Kyle? This is a tough one.
I haven't voted yet. In the battle of the drugs, it's only one guy can be left standing. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't think I've had an opportunity to sample Sailor Jerry, but I have a friend who's a dark rum aficionado. When it comes to drinks, any port in a storm, the only thing I won't drink is gin. That's that's no good. It's bad behavior comes along when you start to drink gin.
That's what they say. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton, everybody. Kyle, thank you.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Back to the Jake Show. Thank you very much. Back to the show. Thank you. Move along. Move along. Are you tired of grilling outdoors? Are you tired of having to go to the kitchen to cook? Thanks to Beast's Ultimate Taste Tool, my troubles are over. Sure, it's a little smoky, but who cares? Look, I even got a bucket to shit in so I never have to leave my room. Now you're cooking with butt.
And we're back on the Jake Show. Cisco Lopez with a super chat to enter the raffle for 2. He says, both are great. Just vote for one of them. Your vote matters. He's saying both callers in the battle are great. Shawn and Andrew C. The dream.
Good job.
I agree. I think both are excellent. Tomorrow on the show, this should be fun. Who are you voting for? The 512 in the region, V-Man and Genergy in the AM, Big Joe and Jason in Jerusalem in the PM. So that will be a lot of fun. On that note, speaking of the aforementioned Big Cho, hopefully he's with us this time. Hey, Gator says, I think Big Cho might need an intro.
Big Cho.
Yeah, it's nice. I like my recliner. No, I just called to check in.
Big Cho.
I don't like all those wrinkles on my head. I don't have that many wrinkles.
We're talking about Big Cho.
My implants are coming in 3 months.
The Kardashian ones?
put the jet gear on for you. Been running some errands early. Came home just chilling. Jake.
Big Joe.
What's going on? I heard I'm up tomorrow afternoon.
That's right.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that today when I was to do battle. How am I looking?
You're looking handsome.
Big Joe. What about the as far as the matchup goes?
Well, I mean, that's for the voters to decide.
True. Well, it's based on everything from last year, right?
It's based on your calls over the last year. People could determine who they like, you or Jason in Jerusalem.
Right. Well, it's going to be a tough matchup.
Two outstanding callers.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, CJ says Cho gets on and then just says nothing.
How do you say I would say nothing when me and you are having a conversation?
I agree. Big Pimpin says Big Cho, big annoying.
Who says that?
Big Pimpin in Herb.
Who is that? I don't even know.
I'm not familiar with his work.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to 7 and watch the Hornets play tonight. They've got the Kings on.
Hey, Georgie's watching the show.
Yeah, who cares?
He says big chump.
Whatever. I don't got time for him. We don't even know if he exists. Isn't that true?
He could be a phony.
Yeah, at least you know I'm real. You know what I'm saying? I came all the way up to the meetup from North Carolina.
Oh, you're a real Big Show. I spent the day with you.
Yeah, that was fun, man. It was good meeting you. Appreciate the dap up, the hug, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, I love you, Big Show. I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to it. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to come to Pittsburgh or not. I'm not sure.
Well, we'd love to have you if you can make it.
Appreciate it.
Hey, what should the Jets do at pick 16?
I'm thinking wide receiver. I like Lemon. And also like, I don't know, for some reason he keeps slipping my mind. The wide receiver from Indiana.
Omar Cooper.
Yeah, I like him.
You ever put lemon in your drinks, Big Show? You a lemon guy?
Yeah, I put lemon in the half and half tea, sweet, unsweet tea with lemon. Yes, sir.
What about water at a restaurant? You like water with a little lemon in it?
No, not usually, no. Just the tea. And I would if the quarterback was there at 33, I would take him. And then I would take another wide receiver at 44.
And what are your thoughts on Beastbreaker and his role in this community?
What do you mean? I love Beast.
He tried to talk to you before. You weren't there.
Yeah, I was. I didn't know why you didn't come to me. I was there the whole time.
We didn't hear you speaking.
No, I didn't know I was on. All I kept saying was Big Cho, Big Cho. Usually I don't talk until after my intro, so I didn't know I was supposed to speak. That's my
I
bad.
see. Did Gator have it in your contract that you can't speak unless you're properly introduced?
I wasn't sure, but I didn't know if I was supposed to speak until then. So that's my bad.
How much does Gator pay you to call into the show?
Oh, he doesn't pay me.
Really?
Nah, Gator and I, he's a good guy, man. I like Gator. He does a good job for your community. And he also Big Joe. A while since I did a podcast, but he had did something and linked something up with our podcast, so I appreciate him doing that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Big Joe. You're a man amongst the boys.
I appreciate it. I hope I get a lot of votes tomorrow afternoon. I'll have to call.
Big Joe, keep up the great work.
Hey, you have a good day, okay? Jets, Jets.
All right. Raffle coming up shortly here. Last chance to enter by gifting a membership or a super chat. Today's closer, live from the streets of New York, is Amanda Madison. Hello, Amanda.
Hi, Jake. Is B still on?
Yes.
Let's get him. Let's see if we can boost the mood.
What does everybody?
Hi, Beast.
Well, you're a little low there. It's probably because you're in the city and you're under hundreds of lights.
I hear her. You don't hear her, Beast?
Well, she got a little microphone. That little. I know another girl who has a little microphone. That, she's on YouTube constantly. But I'm not gonna worry about it. That's fine. Just I'm gonna have a crappy mood for a couple of days now.
Why, Beast? What's got you
Rough.
down?
It's been rough. Money's been a mess. Just got all my bills. No. Now I'm getting. Now I gotta really figure out what the hell I'm gonna do. Now I don't even know what the hell I'm gonna do.
Beast, I think that you, with the help of this amazing community, we're going to figure it all out as a team. We're all here to help you.
I've done. I can't. I feel like I gotta get. What do I have to do next? What do I have to really do? Really?
What is your current issue, Beast? What is the biggest problem right now at this moment?
Let's see. Trying to put money back in my bank account. Trying to build for the future, but can't do that anymore. Why? Taxes are in the way.
Well, hey,
taxes.
You did have a $1,600 offer to shave your head.
That was a joke and a half.
No, that was real.
Beast,
that was real
that's
money.
good
I will not do anything such stupid shit like that. That is for morons with the lowest IQ. I will never sell my
hair grows back. That's
I am too sexy, too smart, and you think I'm gonna bend over and go for that?
Beast, your hair will grow back. Think about it.
You
hair grows back. It's a free $1,600.
I've been pushed around all my life since I was little. I've been kicked around. I'm tired of being kicked around.
No one's pushing you. We're offering to pay you. Whoever
Don't let go of the rope. What rope are you talking about? This whole team looks like it's shot to shit. Who the hell you think you are? I am.
I just know where this is going, Amanda. He's not in a good mood. I don't think anything you do can cheer him up. And I have another show to prepare for. So I don't have time to deal with the beast of it all. So this will be continued tomorrow, I'd imagine. Cisco Lopez, one of the greats. How about a 10 spot before I get to the raffle wheel? He just made 10 of you channel members. Let's go, John Gruden.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
Cisco, thanks for your generosity. 10 people are channel members. Phenom, Dedala, Owen Scholastic, AZ Packer, Iconicalware, Roseanne, Special Grade Nen User, M Goops, and Timothy Looper, all receiving a channel membership from our guy Cisco Lopez. Abdul Jacob says, Jake, are you team GL or BT? Come on now. Team BT all the way. BT and I doing our first show with Samini tonight. That's coming up in about 15 minutes from right now. Let's go, baby.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, they wrote the dream off, but he didn't write back. Advancing to the round of 32 is none other than Andrew C., the Dream. It was a great effort by Shawn, but the Dream is moving on. Final score 63-37, 313 votes were cast. Congratulations to the Dream, Andrew C. Moving on to the next round in Asmaniac Madness. So it's Gorman and the Dream doing battle in the next round. Tomorrow morning, V-Man and Janergy head-to-head in the 5 versus 12, followed by the 4 versus 13, Big Cho and Jason in Jerusalem going at it. Jeffrey Serena gifting 1 membership. Jeffrey, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Hit it.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Jeffrey, you're on the raffle for 1. I will make sure we add your name to the raffle wheel. I can't speak. We'll get that all set for you. All right, I'm ready for the Wheel of Champions. I don't know if our master raffle ceremony, though, has what it takes. His energy's been all off today. I'm going to need him to bring it. Otherwise, we will replace him.
I'm putting icy hot on my back. This will take off the pain and the blemishes.
Hell, stop.
Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. Oi, Daniel-san. Oh, Wheel of Champions. Oh, yes, go there now. Yes, wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. Hey, Daniel-san. Now go Wheel of Champions. Yes, yes, yes. Go Wheel of Champions. Yes, yes, yes. Please go Wheel. Take it to the Wheel of Champions. Yes, yes, yes.
Let's go to the Wheel of Champions, shall we?
Please do.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
I don't know what that was, but it works. All right, here we go. We got a Wayne Corbett sign helmet to raffle away. These entries encapsulate everyone from both our shows today, so good luck to all. But only one can win right now. If you don't win, you can win a weekly prize on Saturday. Good luck. Here we go. If you win, email me, asmanjake@gmail.com. Hold on. Georgie Mac says, give Beast my entries. Cheer up, bro. Beast, say thank you to Georgie Mac.
Leave him. Thank you for the tip. Leave a message at the beep.
No, say thank you for the 2. This is why people don't feel bad for you, because people do nice things for you, like just spend $10 to give you 2 entries, and you don't say thank you.
That's why I said thanks and leave. Thanks for the tip.
No, say thank you for the generosity.
Okay, I don't want to break some shit right now.
It's not that hard to say thank you for spending $10 to give me 2 memberships.
Thanks for the tip. Thank you very much indeed. Now go away. Wow.
Say thank you.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, Georgie. That's nice of you.
Thank you, Georgie.
And say it in American. God, this is unreal. Say thank you.
I see you, baby.
Unreal. Unreal. All right. Big fella, you said, are my entries in? Did you gift during the show, big fella? I'm obviously double checking for you here, but I don't have anything of record from you. I'm looking for it. Let me know. Real quick. I will pause the raffle for the big fella. Nothing came up on my end, big fella. 2 more from Brian, though, so this does give me some more time. Apologies for the delay, everyone. I don't want to do a raffle if I missed entries from big fella. Brian, thank you. Appreciate it. I'll make sure we get you accounted for. Big fella, hit me up afterwards. I'll make sure I put you in for tomorrow because I don't want to slow down the show. Last show, I did a $20 super chat, and why don't I have you here? You're right. Good call by you, big fella. I'm glad you said something. Appreciate that. Full transparency. Big fella in for 4. All right. Appreciate the heads up, big fella. I don't know what happened there. Didn't copy over your names. We're up to 80 entries now. Reshuffle the names. Good luck to everyone. But we got to spin the Wheel of Champions. And your winner of a Wayne Corbett signed helmet is... the guy that was the guest on the show, Joe Blewett. He gifted 5 earlier. He's the winner. In honor of Joe Blewett, loving himself some Ty Simpson. Hit it.
You take him, you hate him. 16th pick, trade of
Jets.
What a way to debut that one. Congrats to Joe Blewett. Certainly well deserved. Hey, big thank you to everyone for their support. Couldn't have done it without you. We're back tomorrow on my channel. I'm back in 45 minutes for the first ever Jets Collective. So check that out tonight with me, BT, and Rich Cimini. I'll talk to you guys soon. As always, JETS, Jets.
God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.